Hello, I'd like to talk a little bit about scoring today and get your opinion. So please give me back any feedback that you have through any way you can contact me or however you saw this video. So diving right in, um, there's two different ways currently right now that I'm considering displaying the scores for Gulli bot on how Gulli decides its score. But right now, I agree on both that it should be a percentage at the top. Most people understand percentages intuitively. It's not perfect, but it's probably the only thing that people would understand. So 77% for most people gives them a feeling that it is mostly true. And some of these numbers in this example are wrong. So let's not focus on whether they're right or wrong, but just whether they tell the story properly. So you can see in this case, on the right side, this is the way it has been for several months. The scores, if you add them all up, they equal the 77. So 28 plus 28 plus 28 minus 7. Every once in a while, there might be a 1 or 2 point off because there's rounding on the display. One of the challenges with this scoring system is that if you have something that's considered a myth, which this one really should have a score, but right now it's a myth, in the system, and you open that up, almost all the scores beneath it are all zeros. So you can't see which ones are contributing to it and which ones aren't. But the benefit of this one is that the math adds up. If you go to this side, these are all in percentages. Basically, this is the impact of this statement on its parent, and then they're all kind of averaged together on whether they're pros or cons. So this one's assumed completely true, or at least, that there's no evidence against any of these three. This one is a con, so it's a negative, but there is some evidence against it, and this one is a con, which is a negative, and there's some evidence against it. But if you kind of average these all together, you would get something around 77%. The averaging doesn't work exactly the way it does intuitively or just regular mathematically, because the closer that these are to zero, the less weight they have. And that's something that's not obvious by looking at it. But in this example where this one was zero and ended up having a whole bunch of zero scores, in this case, this one, you can open it up and you can actually see the weights that are coming off here. So this is minus 200%. So you can see that that's an impactful thing and that it's negative. And the 100, minus 100, these are myths, so they're at zero. This one's true and is sort of impactful. So you can get a better feeling for what the percentages are. And then you can keep going down one in the other one to see why they are that way. Anyway, so those are the two kind of user experience scoring systems that I'm using now. I would appreciate your feedback and any ideas. And if anyone has experience with a lot of math or user experience in coding would have a little time to help me work through this, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.